How's it going, Twitch? My name is Skull, and on behalf of East Asia Soft, welcome to today's stream. Today I'm playing Electronics Puzzle Lab 2. I played Electronics Puzzle Lab 1 a while ago, and I had a lot of fun with it. Learn circuitry the fun way. Computer logic, computing logic, electronics logic. It sounds scary. It can sound scary to people who are not familiar with it already, but the first game did a tremendous job of teaching you how it's done, and I actually had a ton of fun playing it. And now I get to play the sequel. I don't know what to expect other than more of the same, maybe some new stuff, maybe some old stuff thrown in. I guess we'll find out together. Hi, Andrea. How you doing? So yeah, the creator of the first game did an amazing job. Just fantastic. I had fun. Looking forward to playing this one. Let's see. Languages. English, Portuguese, Spanish, Simplified, and Traditional Chinese. German, Korean, Japanese. Yep. Russian, Italian, French. You got all kinds of different languages here. So yeah. Looks like there's 50 levels once again. Credits. Game created by Sagitta Studios. Programmer Alexander. Nice. Some assets were downloaded from Unity Asset Store. Ported and published by East Asia Soft Limited. My goodness. All right, well, Alexander did a tremendous job with the first game. Let's see how this one plays out. I love that warning sign up there. Attention, ESD control area. Wear proper electrostatic grounding equipment at all times. Caution, this area contains sensitive electronic devices. Powering up. Trophy earned. Start your... Okay. I assume that it's just beating... Or, oh, it's just reaching levels, and then you get another one for finishing. Looks like people have played up to level 15 and no further, so I guess we'll see how we do. Can I zoom in at all? Oh, I can. Nice. Shoot. Okay, so that's what switches do. Next level. Battery. Battery is a device that stores energy to power other electronic devices. I am very familiar with batteries. An on-off switch is a component that, when activated, allows current to pass through and activates others. LED, you know what an LED is. It emits light when electrical current passes through it. So yeah, everything electronic uses computing logic. It uses electronic logic, electrical logic. The PlayStation 5 that I am using to play this game uses this, but at a microscopic level. The computer that I'm using to capture and stream to you guys uses all of this. The device that you're watching this on, a computer, a phone, maybe your television, it all uses this, just a lot more of it and on a lot smaller scale. So once you learn the basics of how it works, you can eventually do anything. You just need to wait for things to get more and more efficient. Okay, so we need both LED 1 and 2 to turn on. So on. Yep. Some of these were very fun. Rookie Electrician, reach level 3, nice. The NOT gate, logic gate, flips the logical state of the input signal. So, makes it opposite. So if we turn it on, yes. No, we turn it off, and then current goes through, and the NOT remakes it into on. That's what happens. We start out simple, but it gets more and more difficult as we go, I promise you. Rookie resistor. The OR gate is a component that outputs true if any of its inputs are true. So it doesn't matter which of these are turned on, it'll always turn that on. Any and all. The blue LED, when activated, damages the board when you interact with. Be careful, we do not want that to turn on. You now have binding jumpers. Jumpers make the connection between 2 points. Yes, so... yeah, Evening Dim Lord, look, it's this game, but again. So, yeah, we want to make sure that's off. Yeah, we got a jumper cable here. This game again, well, this is the sequel. Okay, let's turn both, shoot. I was going to say, let's just turn both those off to start. I wish I could speed through the... okay, well, first we want this on. I suppose we want that off. Yes. Can't follow this anyway. Okay. I understand electrical logic pretty well, so this game is actually great for me. And I think this is actually a tremendous game for, say, people who go to a trade school and they're learning, like, how to work with electrical stuff. Like, this kind of stuff this kind of game might actually help them in the real world. Okay, we never want for that blue LED to turn on. So we want this off. And we want this off. Yeah, got it. Okay, on to level 8 already. All right, let's see here. We want that off. And I believe that blue LED is permanently safe. So now we can freely work with everything else. We want this on as well. On. And then to turn this on, we need to turn both of these off. Oh, but there's a second blue LED there. Okay, I had everything fine. I just didn't see the blue LED. So turn that off as well. And that off. And then we just flick every other switch, I think. There we go. Oh, no. Oh, that sucks, Dim. I pre-ordered my games from Best Buy. Their pre-order bonus is a computer mouse pad. That is so lame. That really is lame, Dim. I'm sorry. Okay, let's see here. Want that off, and I think that blue LED is fine. I think that blue LED is fine now. So if we turn that on and that on. Oh, but that turns that off. Ooh. So we turn this off. Or this one on. And yes. How do I route this? Off? No, I need to turn this off. Wait. Huh. I need to figure out a way to turn both of these on. Let's see here. Hmm. Yeah, and I just, of course I did. I just activated the blue LED. Okay, 9 levels in, we're already starting to struggle here. Okay, let me look at this. That's safe. So, turning that off. Wait. No. Oh, no. Yeah, wait. No, that doesn't go through there. Does it? Wait. No, it only goes in this way. Oh. That complicates things. It's exactly what I thought would happen. Just wanted to make sure. Okay. Which, by the way, is not something you want to do in real life. If you think it's going to fry the electronics, you don't turn it on to make sure. Okay, let me isolate these. This blue LED is now completely isolated. It is safe. This one, I'm still trying to figure out. I think I want it on. Because I get power in there and then it reroutes there. No, I do want it off. Okay. I think I'm safe doing that. Yeah, but it turns that off. If I turn this on, and then this one as well. Yes, good. It sends power here. I was hoping both of those would, but it's an or, not an and. Well, I can light that LED. Now I got this one left. Let's see here. If I flick this switch, I'm pretty sure that blue LED over here is going to turn on, and it doesn't really solve my problem over here anyway. If I turn this one on and this one off. If I flick this, I'm pretty sure the blue LED down here is going to go immediately. If I turn this off. Okay. Turn this on. Yeah. That's annoying because it bypasses that switch there. Even though it looks like it's connected to that switch, it's not. So I need to always have power going between these two not switches, essentially. So I can never press this switch, no matter what. That's pretty much what I thought would happen there, too. Okay. This one's tricky. Okay, let me experiment here for a second. Mm-hmm. How do I get power into there? It's almost like everything else needs to be off. How am I supposed to get this off on this line while still powering that LED? I wish I could use this to cut that trace because that would save it. Yeah, I know you can't help me, Dem. I'll figure this out. There is a solution, just gotta find it. Again, I can never flick this switch, no matter what. This is so strange. I have to figure out a way to power this while not sending power over this. I just don't know if that's possible. I really wish I could pick that up. Because snipping this... Wait a minute. You can. You can just snip it. Okay, there's the solution. No wonder I couldn't figure it out. Yeah, you can cut the wire. That's something that the first game did not have. Okay. Well then. Alright, let's see if I need to cut this trace or not. Let's work at this a little at a time. Any of these gets to that, then I'm screwed. So yes, I do need to cut this. That isolates that. This isolates that. Now I just need to isolate that. Okay, the blue LED is now completely separated from everything else no matter what. So I can just focus on the red now. And I believe... the solution is simply that. Okay. Yeah. The AND gate. It only produces a true output if all the inputs are also true. So you know houses that have like one light in the center of the room, but you have two switches and either of those switches can turn the light on? That's sort of how this stuff works. So like the OR gate would work with that. If one or the other is turned on, then the light is turned off. If it's an AND, so if both of them are one way or the other, then it's turned off. Or on and off. Again, we need to separate the blue LED, which we just did. And now, there we go. If anyone is going to play this, I recommend having an order of operations ready. So whenever you can, try and isolate the blue LED to get it just permanently turned off, and then work on all the rest of the components after, if you can. Obviously, there's going to be a lot of puzzles where you can't. Okay, I can trim that if I need to. We'll see if I need to yet. This blue LED is now cut off, as is that one. We are set. Now we can work on these. So I believe we do need to cut that. No, hold on. Huh. Not yet. Not yet. There we go. Okay. Let's isolate these. This right one is now isolated, and this left one is now isolated. We can now freely experiment and figure this out. Let's turn that on and that off. Oh, for a second it was... Look at that. For a split second, that light flickers. It doesn't even... Oh, it only shows up sometimes. It shows up just fine in 60 FPS, but not 30. Okay, I'll figure that out later. Let's turn that... Oh, it wasn't isolated. It's an OR. Okay, let me do that again. Need to cut that and do that. Okay, this light is now turned on. Let's figure out this one. If we turn you on... And... Oh, need to turn this off. Yeah, okay. Need to turn this on, and then... That works! Hit the main menu by accident. Okay! Doing really good. Okay, I have no way of separating... of isolating this blue LED, so I've got to be very careful. This one is easily isolated. Let's turn that on. And I believe... Yeah, okay. I can't isolate that. Okay, let's look at this again. If I turn that off and that on, it's 2 ores going into that. This off, this on. Ah! I didn't isolate the LEDs. Okay, let's do that. 1. Yeah. Turn you off. You on. Mm-hmm. Let's be a bit more careful here. There we go. Trained transistor. These are funny. These are funny trophy names. Okay, this is as far as anyone else has gotten. So I'm going to be the first person to get past this. Master of chips. I like my chips with dip. Okay. That's isolated. Now we got the NOR. Not entirely sure what NOR means. I think something tells me we missed an explanation on that. Blue is isolated. There we go. So I guess NOR means that no electricity whatsoever can get into it. Okay, let's take a look. Okay, let's try and... Okay, this blue LED is now completely cut off. I don't have a way of cutting off this LED completely, so I gotta be careful here. I think I'm safe to do this. Yep. Never mind. Is there a glossary on this? Let me go back one level and see if it gives me instructions on NOR. It was not this level. Oh, informations. Let's do that. The NOR gate. It produces a true output only when all of its inputs are false. It's the inverse of the OR gate. So when there is nothing going to it, it is true. Okay. Let's see if I can't use that to help me figure out this one. So if nothing goes to this, it should send out a signal, if I'm correct. No. Huh. Why is not inversing? That's strange. Excuse me. Okay, well that's one. Yikes. Whoa, whoa, what's this path? Something's not right there. That path is weird. I don't know what was... That was off somehow, so... Okay, am I safe to do this? I need to cut off this somehow. I don't think I can. Yikes. Yeah, that's what I thought would happen. Okay, that's that LED. Now let me figure out... Don't touch anything else over here. This LED is cut off, and this LED is cut off, I believe. As long as no electricity goes into either of these switches, then I think that's safe. So now I can figure out the rest. There we go. All right. I still don't fully understand the NOR gate, but I'll figure it out. Let's cut that off, first of all. And flick that switch. And flick that switch. This blue LED is now completely isolated. I should be free to do everything else I want. Turn you on, and you on should light up that bottom LED there. And... I think I want to turn that off and you on, and I want to turn you off. And if I cut you, I believe that does it. Nope, not quite. I don't understand the NOR gate. There's 2 going in and nothing coming out. So what happens if I do that? And then that. Okay. That's weird. Okay, so if nothing goes into the NOR gate, then it outputs a signal. I think I understand it now. Don't cut these yet. Definitely turn that off, though. And that. And that. I believe this LED is now 100% separated. We got this here, which will temporarily let electricity through. Like that. So that's the last thing we do, essentially, to turn on that final LED. So let's figure out how to turn this one on. Yep, and now we cut this trace, perfect. So now we just need to figure out how to power up this LED here. Get this one turned on and press this button and we win. I need to be very careful for this. I don't think I ever want to cut this trace. Or wait a minute. If I turn that on and cut it, it gives me the same results. And that's an and that's a not, and... Okay, yeah, let's do that. Let's cut that trace. That's still off, and turn the electricity on. Same result. Now, I believe I need to turn this off. And there we go. I've never once claimed that I'm good at video games, but it appears that I do know a thing or two about electrical logic. Okay, this blue LED is now completely cut off, as is this one. I should be free to continue. That one is on. Oh, I'm still missing this. I need to... cut and turn off. Oh, I did not want to cut. I got that wrong. I thought that was a nor, not an and. That's on me. Need to restart. There is no logic. Well, it makes sense to me. Don't know what to tell you. Okay, cut that off, and yes, blue LED is safe. Blue LED is safe. Let's do this again. And turn you on. There we go. That's one. That's one. Now how do I do the others? I need that off, so that's two. Turn this one on here. And boom. Yes! The capacitor is like a small battery that stores energy for a short span of time. Yeah. Old video game consoles have, you know, 20, 30, even 40-year-old capacitors, and you really should swap those out for new ones. Excuse me. And now we have a switch. There we go. Now is when things are going to get tricky, because now we're going to have moving parts. Ooh, I didn't see the blue LED. That's on me. Fun fact, blue LEDs are actually like a modern marvel. It's kind of insane that it even exists. The people who invented it received a Nobel Prize in science. That is how big of a deal it is. Like, I'm not kidding. It really is a feat of engineering. Okay, let's see what we got to work with here. Cut that off and turn that off. Blue LED is now completely safe, and I'm free to play around however I wish. I need a knot. Ooh, wait a minute. No, that's on. Oh, I'm missing the top one. Shoot. Okay. Like I said, a lot of moving parts. Master of chips. I like my chips with dip. Okay, we went for these to be off, and that one, and I believe this blue LED is isolated, and now so is this one. Oh, and there's one more here. I've got to be careful. That being said, I could do that safely. I got to worry about this. Be very careful here. Need to figure out how to get... However I turn this one on is... However I turn that on is what I gotta do again. I just kind of missed it. Ooh. Gotta think about this. Okay, turned on. Safe. Safe. This one I'm worried about. Want that on. And... Okay. So at the very end, I just need to flick that switch and that turns on. Now I gotta figure out how to turn this on. There we go. Yeah, like I said, there's going to be moving parts now, so it gets more difficult. The NAND gate is a digital logic gate that produces a false output only when all of its inputs are true. It's the inverse of the AND gate. So if we turn off even one of these, makes sense? Okay. Okay, this blue LED is isolated. Ooh, okay. Off and snip. This blue LED is now isolated as well. Now we just need to turn that off, and there we go. If we've got any electrical engineers in the chat, please raise your hand. I wish to know that I'm not alone. This blue LED is isolated. This blue LED is isolated. This one is tied to this capacitor. So whenever I eventually have to flick that button I'll just leave that for last, and that'll give me my automatic win. Okay. Do I turn off the Nor? Yep, okay. And... Oh. Oh, I'm missing this one still. Sheesh. Perfect. All right. What do we have to work with here? We need to leave this on at all times. We need to leave this capacitor charged at all times to keep this blue LED safe. This LED is now isolated, and so is this one. So never touch this, and only flick that sparingly at the very end. You only know how to push a light on or off? Well, that has to count for something. Turns that on. Turns that on. That, and finally that. There we go. Now, obviously, in the real world, you wouldn't have like 5 hands constantly doing this back and forth. You would have computer logic and programs and stuff, and not to mention a little better circuitry that would actually help to make sure that you have stuff go on exactly when you need it. But what you see here is the cornerstone. They are the building blocks of computers, of electrical logic. Okay. Yeah, do that, and then never touch this. Okay. So I need to... Oh, there's a lot of steps here, actually. Hang on. There we go. The XOR gate produces a true output only when one of the inputs is true, but not both. Yeah, so, for example, if we... I was just going to do the one on the left. XOR is very convenient for a lot of things. Yeah, I think I've done goofed here. Okay, let's see here. Turn that off. Oh, perfect. Oh, there is a blue LED here. I didn't see that. There was that one level I was on when I played the first game. I was on it for like a good 20 minutes before I figured it out. Wonder if there's going to be anything like that today. Okay, well, blue LED is now isolated, so I should be safe to play around. I believe I could turn that off and turn this on. Oh, never mind. I think I might have cheesed that one, actually. If there's even one frame where everything works, the game gives you the win, so. I believe I just need to turn this on. Turns on that. Need to leave that off, and now this blue LED is set. Just don't touch anything else up here. This LED is separated, and this LED is separated, and now I'm free to play around. Turn that on, and turn on electricity here. And here. Cut that, and ooh, I thought that would do it. I guess not. What if I turn this off? There we go. All right. Electronics specialist. You guys heard it here first. I'm a specialist. I'm the first person to get anywhere close to this far in the game. All right, let's see. Blue LED. Blue LED is now, yeah, it's now isolated, so I'm safe to do that. Ooh, but I don't want to do that. I want to do that. And turn that on. And I believe... Oh, I still got one more. Ooh, interesting. I want to keep this because it's an and. So do not trim that. I believe flicking this switch is all I need to do. Okay, blue LED is now, this one is now cut off. As is this one. So we're safe. Just need to make sure I don't trim these unless I have to. Okay. Turn you on. And you on. Do not touch that. Okay, now we just need to figure out how to get electricity here, which I think just trim that wire. All right. Hey guys, how am I doing? Okay, I believe this is fine. This scares me. This scares me a lot. Okay, well, I believe I could start by just flicking that, turning that LED on. Oh, I don't know about this. That turns on that LED. Now I just got to figure this one. Okay, let me flick that switch last. Wait. Hi, Horiberto. Okay. Okay, I just had to look at it, which is hard to do when there's so many moving parts. Okay, the XNOR gate generates a true output when its two inputs are equal. So they can be both off or both on. So this will turn this LED on. This will turn it off. Wait. And this will turn it back on. Okay, got it. Okay. There we go. Digital Architect. Reach level 40. Okay, there's this and then 10 levels after this. Okay, let's isolate these LEDs. 1 and 2, we are safe. Okay, I believe I want to turn this off. Now I just got to figure this one out. Wait, is it as simple as this? Sure is. Okay. So at the end, just press that button to turn that on. Don't touch anything else on this side, because otherwise we'll trigger the blue LED. Oh, happy birthday, Quinn. Do I trim this? Yes. And then, boom. There we go. That was yesterday. It's too late now. Well, happy late birthday, Quinn. Okay, I don't really have an easy way of isolating these right now. Never touch this. Actually, I'll want to touch it, won't I? Because then I'll turn that out. Nope, nope, nope. This makes sense. Okay, that activates that one. That activates that one, then I just have this one to worry about. Blue LED is now isolated. I hope. Okay. Oh, wow. 16-year-old cat. My goodness. Any cat who lives to be that age has my absolute respect. Okay, this blue LED is completely isolated. As long as I never touch this, I believe this blue LED is isolated, so I'm safe to experiment around. Let's look at this logically. I need to turn this on, which means activating this. And I need an and, which means activating this and giving it some juice. This LED is accounted for. This one. Is accounted for. Just got to figure out this one now. Oh. Just like that. Okay. We have a clock. What are we trying to produce now? What exactly are we trying to do? Okay, well, what am I trying to, what number am I trying to make? It's not telling me what I'm trying to actually do here. I just made the number 3 and it said nice. Component genius. Okay, well, let's... Blue LED is isolated. And so is that one now. I'm not entirely sure what the point is I'm doing right now. Like, what is the... It's not exactly... Ah, shoot. I guess I'll just try and make the number 3 every time. Turn you off. Or the number 2. It's not telling me what the number is I'm supposed to generate. So yeah, I'm a little confused. There's 2 again. You guys don't see any hints about what the number is I'm supposed to create, do you? I just don't understand this one. It didn't come with instructions. I just blindly guessed the last 2 where it created a 3 and a 2. Yeah. me try and create a 1, I guess. If I flick this, that blue LED down there is going to turn on instantly. Told you. So I want that off and that off. Well, I created a 1. And a 4. Let's go for 5, shall we? There's 5. What am I supposed to make here? Let's go for 6. Or 9. It's not 9. It's not 6. What does it want me to make? It didn't give me any instructions. Let's go for 7. It wanted 7. It wanted me to make 7. How was I supposed to know that? Okay. Ooh, what's this thing? It's not here, whatever it is. It looks like a resistor. It is a resistor. It didn't give me any instructions on that. In fact, it's not even in the informations tab. Strange. Okay, let's isolate the blue LED. I believe the blue LED is now, or that one is anyway. Okay, never push this button and I'm safe. No, I want to push that button. No, never mind. Okay, I understand. Order of operations was wrong. Save that for last. Okay, this one blinks. Okay, I have a lot of things I need to do in a short amount of time. Got it. What's this, level 49? This and then one more. Okay, that blue LED is isolated. The other one scares me. Yep, thought that would happen. Okay. Okay, I see what I need to do. Wait. Yeah. Okay, now I just need to figure out this one. Oh, it's connected to this. Okay. Oh, interesting. I can only turn on one, not both. Why is that? Wait, I think I might have it. There we go. All right. On to level 50. The final one. I'm expecting it to be a doozy. I can never turn this switch on. This one is a big no-no because that'll turn on the blue LEDs. So this LED is now good. This one we need to turn that off. Yikes. Yep, knew that'd happen. Okay. Let's do this again. Cut off. On. Okay. Need to get electricity in there first before I turn that on. Essentially leave it turned on. Get power into that. Turn the power off up here. Simple as that. Electronics Puzzle Lab 2 trophy earned. Platinum. Let's go. Thank you for playing Electronics Puzzle Lab 2. We hope you had fun on this journey. So, this is a game that, if you are at all interested in learning computer logic, like electronic logic, this is a perfect teacher for you. Like, I would recommend it to like schools and places like that as an introductory to how electrical logic works. This is awesome for that. So yeah, it's tremendous. I breezed straight through it. I'm willing to bet that most people would actually take a lot longer to complete it than I did. But But in terms of just learning how electronics work on a basic logical level, this is tremendous. It's a great follow-up to the first game, I gotta say. So, yeah, shout out to Alexander from Sagittarius Studios for making another great game. I hope you make more. Electronics Puzzle Lab 2 coming out later this week. Be sure to go pick it up. I had fun. Let me see what the fastest is that I can do. My time on this was less than a second. So let's see. Yeah, I think it'd make the lesson more interesting as well. Gotta see if I can't get better than 0.95 seconds. 0.78, let's go. Does this actually tell me what my worst time was? Nah, it doesn't tell me. Like, I have to actually select a level to see my times. Anyway, that's going to bring the stream to an end. I have no idea what I'm going to play Friday. I think, just like with the first game, my boss is expecting me to take a lot longer than this, so... Did tell you almost 3 minutes. Yeah, but I don't know which level that was, is what I'm saying. So, like, it just... I can't hover over the level and it'll tell me. It was the one that I was struggling with for a while. Yeah, about 2 minutes 42. So, anyway. Yeah, that's going to bring the stream to an end. I'll be back on Friday with something else. Unless they want me to play through this again, which I wouldn't mind. Although it would be another short stream. In fact, probably a lot shorter than this one was. So, I got nothing else to say. Fun game. Great tutorial lesson in how this kind of stuff works, which I think is fascinating. Yeah, if you've ever wondered how a computer works, this is it, pretty much. So yeah, this is the basic building blocks of all electronics ever. It's exactly what we have here. I think it's just so cool. Thank you to Dimlord, Andria, and Hoya Berto for being here. Shout out to the lurkers, and shout out to everyone watching on YouTube afterwards. I'll be back on Friday. Don't know what I'll be playing, but I'll see you guys then. On behalf of East Asia Soft, I have been Skull. Have yourselves a great day and a great week, and I will see you all next time. Bye-bye.